An historic agreement with one of America's staunchest adversaries. Iranian leaders agreeing to give unprecedented access to international nuclear weapons inspectors in exchange for easing economic sanctions against the isolated country. If Iran cheats, says President Obama, the world will know about it. So how's the plan being received? Well, for the moment, with a lot of celebrating. Here's ABC's chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran. Terry?
Good evening, Juju. Well, the deadlines came and went here. The negotiators, some of them came and went, but those who stuck it out emerged after several marathon sessions to announce a breakthrough. In the words of Secretary of State Kerry, they have opened a window of possibility for a deal that it's hoped will bring Iran's nuclear ambitions under strict international control. On the streets of Tehran tonight, there was joy. To so many of the people of Iran, so long cut off from the world economy, this deal is about more than nuclear technology and international relations. It's about hope. In Lausanne, Switzerland, where negotiators worked marathon sessions to get this deal done, there was a sense of relief more than anything else. For Secretary of State John Kerry, today was a personal achievement, but he acknowledges there's still a lot of work to do, and the deal is far from done.
Could this whole thing still fall apart in the next few months while you hammer out the details?
Of course it could. It could.
What's
yes.
the chances of it getting all the way?
I don't have any way to make that prediction.
50-50?
I'm not going to play that. That this is a way of making the world safer.
But how? Under today's agreement, Iran's nuclear programs will come under strict international controls, and some of them will be rolled back in exchange for economic relief, lifting those crippling sanctions on Iran. And Iran will also get to keep much nuclear technology and research, as long as it can be verified that it will be used for civilian purposes, electric power generation, medical technology, and the like. President Obama in the Rose Garden insisting he drove a tough bargain.
This framework would cut off every pathway that Iran could take to develop a nuclear weapon. So this deal is not based on trust. It's based on unprecedented verification.
Critics say the agreement makes the world more dangerous.
This deal is going to threaten America's national security interests, and it's going to lead to a nuclear arms race in the most volatile region in the world.
Republicans also say the president was desperate for a deal to burnish his legacy.
There's a sense that President Obama wanted this deal more than Iran did.
No,
and that weakened your position as a negotiator.
Not on your life. President Obama, on several occasions, could not have been clearer about my instructions to walk away if X, Y, or Z doesn't happen.
Okay, enough with the politicians. Let's hear from the people, from those with a special stake in the outcome here.
This was a big deal. It's transformative.
This evening, we brought together 5 Iranian-American professionals to talk about what this deal means to them.
I think it's just a very hopeful and exciting moment, because this is an opportunity for people who have been suppressed for so long to kind of have a voice. It's going to help the economy. There really isn't a middle class in Iran, and this is going to help the welfare and economy of the Iranian people.
From a purely selfish and convenience point, hopefully it means more flights to Iran, right? A lot of the airlines, because of the sanctions, pulled out and canceled flights. It's really difficult, frankly, to get there from the U.S.
There's this dehumanization of Iran as a country or as a government, as, I don't know, you name it, supporter of terrorism.
It's a complex country, just as the United States is.
They're hoping today will mark a change in the way Americans view Iran and Iranians like themselves. For these Iranian Americans, for those people on the streets in Tehran, for all those in both countries, this day of hope is shadowed by a long, dark history. 1979, Iranians rise up in revolution, led by the Ayatollah Khomeini, a fierce religious leader and critic of the U.S. Then, in November that year, Iranian students storm the American embassy and take 52 U.S. diplomats hostage for 444 days. Nightline got its start covering the crisis, which riveted and infuriated the country.
Again, today, Iran is the major story.
The hostage crisis led to decades of hostility between the U.S. and Iran, no diplomatic relations at all between the countries. By 2002, President George W. Bush lumped Iran in with North Korea and Iraq in
an axis of evil, arming to threaten the peace of the world.
And so the die was cast. Inside Iran, life was never the same after the revolution.
I was 8 years old at the time of the revolution in 1979, and my life as a girl from a middle-class family in Iran was affected by the revolution in very profound ways.
Nazila Fatih was born in Iran and now lives in the U.S.
As a young girl, I had to wear a headscarf. I could no longer do a lot of things that I could do. Islamists believed women could not wear swimming suits, and even if they were as young as 8 years old, and swim in public.
A New York Times correspondent, she fled the country with her family in 2009 after the regime crushed popular protests and threatened her directly. Today, Nazila felt close to the home she has lost.
Today was one of the happiest days of my life. This was the first time that Iran and the United States managed to end one of the biggest crises through diplomatic solution.
But is that hope justified? And can it be that two countries with so much bad blood between them could trust each other, work together?
Iran is a country that has been at the center of the world for a very long time. It has a 3,000-year-old history. The population yearns to be able to reconnect with the world.
So much hard work ahead still to see if the hope there and here can change history. For Nightline, I'm Terry Moran in Lausanne, Switzerland.